A hush settles over a quiet southern night as a soft breeze moves through the tall grass behind a modest house in Tupelo, where a small boy named Elvis lies awake beneath a faded quilt, listening to the distant hum of cicadas. The moon casts a silver glow across the wooden floor, and he gazes at it with wide, curious eyes, feeling something gentle stirring inside him, something he cannot yet name. His mother sits nearby, humming a lullaby so tender it seems to float through the air like warm light, and the boy's breathing slows as the melody wraps around him. He is small, fragile, yet filled with an invisible spark, and in those early hours of his childhood, the world feels soft and safe and full of promise. Years drift by like slow-moving clouds, and Elvis grows taller, quieter, more thoughtful, wandering the dusty streets of his hometown with his hands in his pockets and his mind full of dreams. He listens to the gospel choirs at church, to the voices rising with reverence and longing, and each sound rests deep inside him, layering itself into the rhythm of his heartbeat. At night, he sits alone on the porch, tapping his foot on the wooden boards, shaping gentle patterns in the air with a battered guitar, letting chords drift upward like whispers. Neighbors hear his shy, trembling notes carried on the warm Mississippi breeze and pause to smile, sensing the beginnings of something rare. When he is older, he steps into a small, glowing studio for the first time. The walls close and intimate, the lights low, the scent of dust and warm tubes hanging in the air. He stands before the microphone with nervous hands, looking at it as though it might start speaking to him, and in an unguarded moment, a soft laugh escapes him. Then he strums a chord, uncertain yet honest, and his voice rises, gentle, trembling, youthful, filling the tiny room with something bright and unmistakable. No one says much at first, but everyone feels a quiet shift, like the subtle change in wind just before dawn. As time moves forward in slow, steady breaths, Elvis steps onto small stages lit by amber bulbs. The crowds are small at first, only a few faces scattered in dim light, but each person leans forward as he begins to sing. His voice flows with warmth, tender and unhurried, shaped by years of listening, longing, and dreaming on quiet nights. He clutches the microphone with both hands, as though anchoring himself, while his foot taps softly to keep balance with the rhythm in his soul. Even then, before fame, before the bright lights and endless noise, he carries within him a stillness that shines. When the world begins to take notice, everything changes like a rising tide. Though for Elvis, the shift feels gentle, almost slow motion. The lights become brighter and the rooms grow larger, but he moves carefully through all of it, still carrying the quiet heart of the boy from Tupelo. Cameras flash softly around him. Reporters speak in quickened murmurs. Crowds gather at the foot of every stage, yet he holds on to the same instinct, the longing to share warmth through his voice, to offer comfort through a melody. Each performance becomes a soft place where time slows, where he closes his eyes as though returning to the quiet glow of his childhood home. He travels across states, then across countries, watching the world unfold like a vast, shimmering landscape outside train windows and car doors. Long nights blur together in hotel rooms filled with muted lamplight, the air heavy with silence after crowds have faded. He sits on the edge of a bed, guitar resting against his knee, humming softly to himself. shaping songs that feel like whispered memories. He thinks often of home, of his parents, of the tiny rooms where music first took root in him. Those thoughts bring him peace, grounding him even as the world grows louder around him. Amid the rising tide of attention, he finds gentle moments of companionship and love. Quiet evenings spent laughing softly, hands intertwined, hearts speaking without words. He cherishes these moments with a nearly fragile tenderness, savoring the warmth they bring to the whirlwind of his days. Sometimes, late at night, he walks with someone he loves beneath tall trees, where moonlight filters through leaves like falling silver, and they speak in hushed tones about hopes, fears, and the strange beauty of life. These are the moments he holds onto most tightly, the ones that remind him he is not made of stages and lights, but of softness and longing. As the years glide forward, Elvis's voice deepens, gaining new textures, richer, fuller, touched by life's gentle weight. The songs he sings become layered with meaning, shaped by experience, gratitude, and reflection. Yet even at the height of fame, he moves with the same slow grace, the same unassuming humility that marked him as a boy. He often pauses during rehearsals, closing his eyes, breathing deeply, letting memories rise and settle like dust in sunbeams. Those around him feel the peace he carries, the simple goodness that radiates from him like warmth from a hearth. There are quiet evenings when he returns home to Graceland, the rooms dimly lit, the halls still, the air filled with the faint scent of polished wood and distant gardens. He moves through the house with soft footsteps, listening to the night sounds beyond the windows. Sometimes he sits alone in the music room, bathed in the glow of a single lamp, fingers drifting over piano keys. Each note echoes gently, lingering in the air like a private prayer. These moments feel timeless, untouched by the world outside, reminding him of who he has always been, a dreamer shaped by music and yearning. As seasons pass, he grows reflective, savoring the beauty in small things, the rustle of leaves on warm nights, the laughter of friends, sharing simple meals, the sight of sunlight spreading across quiet Tennessee mornings. He finds comfort in these gentle rhythms, embracing life's slower pace with gratitude. His voice remains a beacon of warmth, and even as the world evolves around him, listeners still find a solace in the softness of his songs, the kindness embedded in each note. In his later years, he carries himself with a serene calm, moving more slowly, speaking with deliberate gentleness. He watches the world from shaded porches, breathing deeply, letting memories drift through him like waves. He thinks of childhood fields, of first guitars, of the tender faces of loved ones long gone, of every stage that once glowed beneath his feet. And in these quiet reflections, he feels a deep, abiding peace, an understanding that life has been vast and beautiful, filled with moments of love, music, and meaning. As night folds gently around the world, the story of his life settles into a tranquil hush. A soft wind brushes the trees outside, while distant stars shimmer above the stillness of Graceland. Elvis sits in his favorite room, bathed in warm lamplight, gazing at familiar photographs that now feel like windows into cherished dreams. His heart moves with a slow, steady rhythm, each beat echoing with gratitude for the journey he has lived. The air is quiet, the world unhurried, as though time itself has chosen to rest. And so the night deepens, gathering its shadows with tenderness as his story continues to unfurl in soft, glowing threads. The rooms settle into silence, the trees sway gently, and the sky stretches endlessly overhead. The rhythm of his life softens, slows, eases into a peaceful drift, like a melody reaching its final, tender note. His memories glow with a gentle warmth, childhood hopes, the rise of music, the sweetness of love, the calm of late years, each one settling around him like a blanket of shimmering light in the quiet that follows. The world holds its breath, bathing everything in serene stillness. The night grows softer, deeper, more tranquil with every passing moment, as though it has become a cradle for all that his life has been. And as the final images fade into the gentle darkness, the story rests in a hush of comfort and calm, guiding every drifting thought into silence, allowing peace to settle like starlight on a sleeping world, until all that remains is softness, warmth, and the deepest rest. Night drifts onward with a quiet patience, and within the gentle darkness surrounding Graceland, the stillness deepens until even the air seems to breathe in long, calm rhythms. Elvis remains in his favorite room, the lamplight soft on his features, his thoughts drifting like passing clouds across a summer sky. He leans back slightly, letting his gaze travel over familiar shelves, lined with records, books, and small mementos collected through years of wandering. Each item glows with its own quiet history, carrying tender echoes of places he has been and people he has loved. A soft rustle carries through the house as the wind moves across the trees outside, the branches swaying with a slow grace that mirrors the steady calm in his chest. He recalls evenings long ago in Tupelo, when night would settle just like this, warm, gentle, unhurried, and he would sit on the porch with his mother, the scent of earth and cotton fields floating through the summer air. He remembers the faint sound of neighbors talking in distant yards, the way the world felt wide yet safe, and the way dreams seemed to drift toward him like fireflies glowing in the dark. These memories return with a softness that wraps around his heart, filling him with peace. He considers the early days of his long journey, sleepy drives along narrow southern roads, laughter shared with musicians cramped inside old cars, the hum of radios playing static-laced gospel and blues. Late at night, after performances in small town halls, he would sit beneath the stars and strum his guitar, shaping melodies that carried both hope and humility. Every note came from the same longing, the same gentle spark that had lived in him since boyhood. That spark still burns quietly, casting a warm glow through the memories rising within him now. The quiet of the house grows deeper as the hours stretch on. Lamps cast small circles of light that soften the corners of each room, while shadows gather like folded blankets. Elvis moves slowly from one space to another, touching the back of a familiar chair, running a hand along a polished banister, pausing near windows where the moonlight rests like pale silk. Each step carries a sense of reverence, as though the house itself is an old friend offering him steady companionship through the night. He enters a room where framed records line the walls, their golden surfaces catching the light in gentle gleams. He studies them with a calm, thoughtful expression, not with pride, but with gratitude. He remembers the long nights spent recording, the moments when inspiration came softly, like a whisper in the dark. guiding his voice toward melodies that felt timeless. He recalls the warmth of shared laughter in studios, the comforting presence of musicians who became like brothers, and the quiet understanding that music, at its heart, was a gift meant to be shared. As he stands among these symbols of a life lived fully, a peaceful smile spreads across his face. He knows that each song has carried a piece of him into the world, moments of tenderness, whispers of longing, glimmers of hope. He feels a deep serenity in knowing that these melodies continue to travel through time, reaching hearts far beyond the rooms where they were born. He drifts into the hallway, where the soft glow of night lamps paints the floor in warm amber. The silence feels alive, filled with the faint rustle of curtains and the distant hum of cicadas beyond the windows. He steps outside onto a porch, where the air is cool and fragrant with the scent of magnolia blossoms. The night sky stretches endlessly above him, scattered with stars that shimmer like tiny lanterns. He leans against the railing, breathing in slowly, letting the stillness settle into his bones. In the dark expanse, he sees memories unfolding with gentle clarity. Faces from early tours, smiles of friends who shared long bus rides across quiet highways, moments of unexpected kindness from strangers who approached with shy admiration. He remembers the feeling of stepping onto stage after stage, the warmth of lights, the shimmering anticipation in the room. Yet what lingers most in his heart is not the applause or the spectacle, but the calm moments afterward, when he would return to solitude, allowing the music to echo softly through him like a slow river. As the breeze moves through the trees, he thinks of love, the soft, unspoken kind that appears in the quiet spaces between words. He remembers tender conversations whispered in dimly lit rooms, hands intertwined during quiet moments of understanding, laughter shared beneath moonlit skies. These memories feel like gentle waves, washing over him with soothing warmth. They bring a sense of completeness, a recognition that life's sweetest moments often arrive softly, without fanfare, filling the heart with a peace that lingers long after. He eventually returns indoors, lighting a single lamp that casts a gentle, golden glow across the living room. He settles into an armchair, feeling the fabric warm beneath him, the stillness wrapping around him like a familiar blanket. Shadows move softly along the walls as he closes his eyes for a moment, letting the weight of his journey drift through him. He thinks about the boy he once was, gazing at the moon from a small wooden room, dreaming of music that might one day carry his heart into the world. That boy still exists within him, quiet and sincere, guiding him even now. Hours move with the steady rhythm of a slow lullaby. The house remains silent, except for the faint creaking of old floorboards, adjusting to the chill of the night. Elvis listens to these small sounds with a serene calm, enjoying the intimacy of a home that has sheltered him through countless seasons. He reflects on the passing years, the fragile beauty of time, and the gentle truth that every life, no matter how grand or humble, is shaped by small, tender moments strung together like pearls on a thread. He rises again and walks toward a window overlooking a field bathed in moonlight. The grass sways in long, graceful movements, and the distant trees stand like dark silhouettes against the sky. He watches this quiet scene with steady eyes, feeling a deep connection to the land, the night, and the silence. The world feels vast yet comforting, as though holding him gently in its embrace. Midnight settles, calm and unbroken, and Elvis returns to the music room, where the piano waits in its usual corner. He sits at the bench, places his hands softly on the keys, and lets a single, gentle chord ring out. The sound is warm, faint, and soothing, lingering in the air like a long exhale. Another chord follows, then another, forming a slow, meditative melody that drifts through the room like a drifting veil. The music is quiet, meant not for audiences or applause, but for reflection and peace. Each note seems to glow, filling the space with a serene radiance. As he plays, he feels memories rising like soft ripples on water. Distant performances, hushed recording booths, warm embraces from loved ones, moments of silent laughter. These memories intertwine with the melody, creating an atmosphere of deep tranquility. He plays for a long time, letting the music guide him through the night, until the notes begin to fade into stillness. He closes the piano gently and stands, feeling the calm settle more deeply into him. The night grows heavier, softer, as though the entire world is preparing to rest. He moves once more through the halls, turning off lamps one by one until only the faint glow of moonlight remains. Shadows soften, footsteps quiet, and the house breathes in slow harmony with the world outside. Elvis pauses at the foot of the stairs, resting his hand on the polished railing, feeling the cool smoothness of the wood beneath his fingers. He climbs slowly, savoring each step, each calm breath. At the top, he looks back once more at the dimly lit rooms below, spaces filled with memories, music, love, and quiet reflections. The sight brings a profound sense of peace. He walks into a room bathed in soft silver light and sits near the window where the curtains drift gently with the breeze. The stars shimmer beyond the glass, scattered across the sky in delicate patterns. He leans back, letting his shoulders relax, his body settle into stillness. His thoughts become slower, softer, drifting like feathers carried by wind. The night deepens further, a blanket of darkness and silence covering every corner of the world. Outside, the trees sway with a slow rhythm, and distant leaves rustle like whispered lullabies. Inside, everything grows warm, quiet, and tender, as though the house itself has fallen into a restful dream. Elvis's breathing softens, his eyes growing heavy as the peaceful weight of the night wraps around him. Memories drift like distant lanterns on a gentle river, childhood nights in Tupelo, early melodies on worn guitar strings, the glow of small stages, the warmth of love, the serenity of home. Each memory settles into place, forming a mosaic of a life lived with heart, humility, and quiet strength. The world around him fades into a velvety hush, each moment dissolving into the next with seamless grace. The soft hum of night becomes the final lullaby, carrying him into deeper calm. His heartbeat slows, steady and peaceful, echoing like a distant drum within a cavern of stillness. As the last of the lamplight slips away and the house rests in full quiet, the night holds him gently, like a guardian of dreams. Everything becomes soft and weightless, memories, thoughts, breath, each one floating in serene harmony. And in this final hush, the world seems to exhale, settling into its own deep slumber as the gentle darkness wraps around all things, guiding every drifting moment into a place of perfect, boundless rest. The night stretches onward in quiet, endless layers, and within the gentle stillness of Graceland, the house seems to float in a calm all its own. Upstairs, the silver glow of the moon softens further, becoming a pale wash of light that settles over furniture, framed photographs, and the quiet figure resting near the open window. The breeze carries the faint scent of magnolia and earth, drifting across the room with a slow, soothing rhythm. Elvis remains there, unhurried, allowing the quiet to envelop him. His eyes drift once more across the skyline, where the stars shimmer like distant memories suspended in time. His breathing follows the soft cadence of the wind, rising and falling with serene ease. The world outside has fallen almost completely silent, as though nature itself has paused to honor the tenderness of the moment. In this hush, his thoughts return to the gentlest corners of his past, moments too delicate to ever be loud. He remembers the evenings after long tours, when he would step off the bus and inhale the familiar scent of Tennessee grass. Feeling a wave of relief wash through him, he recalls the soft murmur of friends calling goodnight as they parted ways, each voice carrying warmth that lingered long after the footsteps faded. He thinks of the simple rituals that brought him comfort, the quiet clink of ice in a glass on a warm summer night, the rustle of pages as he flipped through well-worn books, the gentle scratch of pen against paper when inspiration found him in the small hours. These memories drift across his mind like fragile wisps of cotton, weightless and calm. Somewhere in the distance, a dog barks once, softly, then falls silent again. The sound echoes faintly, merging with the rustling leaves, creating a soundscape so gentle it feels like a lullaby woven by the night itself. Elvis lets the ambiance settle deep within him, allowing each subtle noise to fade into the background like fading echoes of melodies he once carried on stage. He shifts slightly in his chair, the fabric cradling him with familiar support. The quiet glow of the moon paints soft contours along his features, highlighting the peaceful calm that has settled over him. His fingers rest loosely against the wooden armrest, relaxed and still. He feels the warmth of the night air brush against his skin like a comforting hand, inviting him deeper into rest. Downstairs, the last vibrations of the earlier melody still seem to linger in the air like faint traces of perfume. The piano stands silent now, yet its echoes remain, drifting through the rooms with the softness of a sigh. Elvis senses those ghost-like notes as though they are memories greeting him gently, inviting him to drift further into contemplation. He looks toward the open door of the hallway, where shadows pool quietly. The house feels timeless in moments like these, suspended between past and present, filled with stories that whisper through every floorboard, every beam, every worn carpet edge. Each corner contains echoes of laughter, music, conversations held in low tones, and moments of silence shared between hearts that understood one another deeply. He rises slowly, moving with an almost dreamlike grace. His footsteps are barely audible, cushioned by thick carpeting. He walks into the darkened hallway, allowing the soft glow of the moon to guide his way. His hand skims along the wall, tracing patterns he knows by heart, subtle curves, the cool touch of paint, the familiar dips in the surface where time has left its mark. He pauses at a framed photograph hanging quietly in the shadows. The image shows him younger, smiling softly beside his parents. The warmth captured in the photograph glows faintly, even in the dim light, and as he looks at it, a tender ache settles gently in his chest. It is not a sorrowful ache, more like a gentle reminder of love that has shaped him, carried him, anchored him. He continues walking, moving through the hall with unhurried steps. Downstairs, the clock ticks in slow, steady intervals, each click echoing like a heartbeat through the stillness. He descends the stairs again, drawn by a calm impulse, and returns to the living room, where earlier memories still drift through the air, like dust illuminated by sunlight. The room greets him with a hushed serenity. The furniture sits in quiet stillness. The curtains sway with soft rhythm, and faint moonlight spills across the floor in delicate ribbons. He approaches the sofa and sinks into its cushions, letting his body relax into their familiar embrace. He leans back and allows his gaze to wander across the room, settling on the small objects that have accompanied him through countless evenings. Gifts from fans, keepsakes from travels, simple decorations chosen for comfort rather than luxury. His thoughts drift again to old roads, stretching across open fields, to the hum of engines on long nighttime drives, to the quiet murmur of conversations held in the dark while the world outside blurred into shadows. He recalls sharing stories with bandmates who felt more like family, each voice weaving into the warm, low melody of camaraderie. These memories glow faintly within him, each one a gentle lantern illuminating the pathways of the past. The night presses deeper into its quiet hours, bringing with it the softness of dreams barely forming. The air becomes warmer, thicker with stillness. Time moves more slowly now, stretching like a gentle river, winding through fields untouched by worry. Elvis closes his eyes briefly, feeling the glow of calm wash over him in waves. When he opens them again, the room blurs slightly at the edges, as though the world is subtly shifting into a softer focus. He rises once more, drawn by instinct, and walks to the back door. He steps outside onto the cool porch, where the night greets him like an old friend. The grass shimmers faintly beneath the moonlight, and fireflies blink lazily near the tree line. He breathes in deeply, letting the cool air settle into his lungs. The sky above feels endless, dotted with stars that appear to pulse gently with a rhythm all their own. He watches them for a long moment, feeling the intricate beauty of the night settle around him like a quiet blessing. The world has become a cradle of peace, unmoving, serene, wrapped in velvety darkness. He remains there on the porch, unmoving, absorbing the stillness. The memories continue to drift through him in soft, slow tides. Childhood fields, warm kitchens filled with laughter, quiet roads at dusk, whispered promises, gentle music rising in small rooms, the warmth of hands held in the dark, the solace of home. His heartbeat slows further, the rhythm aligning with the soft pulse of the night. His thoughts become lighter, dissolving like mist. The stars glow brighter overhead, each one a small, steady flame in the vast silence. He closes his eyes, allowing the night to embrace him more deeply. The porch beneath him feels solid and familiar. The wind brushes lightly against his face. Somewhere in the distance, a nightbird calls, once before settling into silence. And as everything grows softer, quieter, and slower, the world seems to drift into a gentle dream, carrying him with it. The night deepens, the air warms, and all things sink into tranquil stillness, dissolving into a serene, boundless calm where breath, memory, and time move together in one continuous, peaceful flow. The night folds even deeper into its quiet heart, and Graceland becomes a world made entirely of soft shadows and warm air. Down the hallway, the last traces of lamplight fade into gentle darkness as Elvis stands on the porch, eyes closed, letting the stillness melt into him. The breeze slows to a whisper, brushing lightly against his hair, carrying with it the faint scent of dew forming on the grass. Every sound has grown softer, as though the world is tucking itself in, settling into a quiet beyond thought. He remains there for a long moment, breathing in the peace that surrounds him. The sky stretches endlessly above, its stars glowing with the steady patience of distant memories. When he finally turns back toward the house, he moves with the slow grace of someone drifting between waking and dreaming, each step measured, unhurried, and gentle. The porch creaks softly beneath his weight, the sound blending seamlessly with the quiet symphony of the night. Inside, the air feels warmer, the walls holding on to the day's lingering heat. Elvis walks through the dim living room once more, and the familiar scent of polished wood and old leather settles around him. The furniture rests in still silhouettes, softened by the moonlight filtering through partially drawn curtains. He crosses the room, touching the edge of the sofa with the tips of his fingers, grounding himself in the simplicity of the moment. He returns to the piano, not to play this time, but simply to sit nearby. He lowers himself onto the bench and lets his hands rest gently in his lap. The instrument stands quiet and dignified beside him, its keys hidden in shadow. He traces the polished edge with one slow movement, remembering the thousands of notes that have flowed from it, notes born in joy, in reflection, in longing, in quiet solitude. Each one had been a moment of connection, a breath shared with the world. The house seems to breathe around him, settling into deeper silence with each passing minute. Somewhere behind him, a floorboard sighs faintly, then stills again. He closes his eyes once more and leans slightly forward, allowing memories to rise with the soft persistence of early morning fog. He recalls late nights on tour, when the world felt both endlessly wide and quietly intimate. He remembers sitting alone after concerts, wrapped in towels and calm exhaustion, listening to the distant hum of generators while the crowd dispersed. Those small, vulnerable moments often meant more than the applause. His thoughts drift to the gentle companionship he found with pets that curled up beside him, their quiet presence offering comfort after long days. He smiles faintly, remembering the soft weight of a dog resting its head on his knee, the warmth of its trust grounding him more than any spotlight ever could. A faint trickle of moonlight stretches across the polished floor as clouds pass slowly overhead. Elvis notices the shifting brightness, the way it moves like water gently flowing through the room. The light dances across the framed photographs on the wall, illuminating brief glimpses of faces he has loved, family, friends, fellow musicians. Their expressions, captured in stillness, radiate warmth even now. Rising from the piano bench, he walks toward a small table where an old record player rests. He touches the top lightly, acknowledging the memories tied to its quiet hum. The hours spent listening to gospel choirs, blues musicians, and harmonies that shaped him long before the world knew his name. Though he does not turn it on tonight, the memory of its sound is enough to comfort him. He resumes his unhurried path through the house, moving from room to room, as though visiting old friends in slumber. He pauses at the doorway of a library, breathing in the faint scent of paper and leather bindings. He steps inside and runs a finger along the spines of books lining the shelves, remembering quiet afternoons spent reading, seeking wisdom and solace in their pages. The room feels like a sanctuary within a sanctuary, still, peaceful, timeless. He makes his way back to the stairs, climbing them slowly as shadows wrap gently around him. His hand glides over the railing, the wood cool and familiar beneath his palm. At the top, the corridor stretches out in dim light, serene and unbroken. He steps softly across the carpet, each movement blending into the hush of the house. Returning to the room with the open window, he pauses at the threshold. The curtains sway lightly, the breeze carrying a faint chorus of crickets. The moon, now slightly lower in the sky, bathes the space in a pale glow that seems to shimmer at the edges. Elvis steps inside, letting the calm wash over him. He sinks into a large, comfortable chair positioned near the window. The cushions welcome him with warm familiarity. He leans his head back, his breathing deep and slow, feeling the weight of the night lingering in the air. His eyes trace the branches of a distant tree outlined against the sky, swaying with slow, dreamlike motions. His mind drifts once more to childhood, bare feet on warm dirt, the sound of his mother calling him in for supper, the innocence of evenings spent chasing fireflies. Those early moments feel like tiny glowing stones in the river of his memory, each one carrying warmth, hope, and the certainty of being loved. He holds these moments gently, allowing them to float beside him like soft lanterns in the dark. As the hours slide forward in silence, the world outside begins to blur into deeper shades of blue. The stars dim slightly, not fading, but softening as though preparing for their own rest. The air cools further, brushing lightly against his skin, inviting him deeper into calm. He shifts only slightly, adjusting himself in the chair, letting his body relax fully. His heartbeat remains slow and steady, each beat echoing in the quiet like a soft drum in a faraway song. His thoughts grow faint, dissolving into the air around him, leaving behind only serenity. The curtains continue their gentle motion, the trees continue their soft murmur, and the house continues its peaceful settling. Everything feels slow, suspended, safe. And as Elvis drifts into the deepest part of the night, the world narrows into calm warmth and velvety silence, becoming a cradle of pure rest, where time itself seems to exhale and slip into a serene, unending dream. The deep hours of the night settle gently over the land, and Graceland becomes quieter still, as though wrapped in layers of soft velvet. Upstairs, Elvis rests in the chair by the window, his breath moving in slow rhythm with the drifting curtains. The moon has lowered toward the horizon now, turning from bright silver to a softer, milk-white glow that stretches across the room in a long, peaceful beam. That beam brushes over his face, the gentle light making his features appear even more serene, more timeless, as though carved out of quiet itself. He stirs slightly, opening his eyes just enough to watch the soft patterns of shadow and light on the ceiling. The world feels distant, softened around the edges. Every memory that rises feels weightless, quiet, and warm. He lets them pass through him, like falling leaves drifting across still water. His mind carries him back to long drives through the desert at dusk, when the sky glowed with streaks of pink and gold. He remembers looking out at the horizon with a sense of awe, feeling both small and endlessly free. The road would hum beneath the wheels, and the steady rhythm soothed him, offering a peace different from the stage lights and applause. Those evenings, spent in the soft hum of motion, brought him the same calm now filling this silent Tennessee room. He breathes in slowly, drawing the cool night air deeper into his chest. The scent of magnolia has grown softer, mixing with the faint smell of old books and worn fabric, comforting scents that have soaked into the house over years of living. His fingers rest gently on the arm of the chair, unmoving, relaxed, shaped to its familiar curve. Time drifts onward, each minute slipping into the next, like a feather sinking into warm water. Beyond the window, the branches sway with slow, dreamlike movements. A few fireflies flicker lazily in the distance, their dim glow blinking like quiet thoughts drifting across the mind before sleep. Inside, the house settles further. The wood creaks gently as though breathing. A distant clock ticks softly along the hallway, its steady rhythm accompanying the calm of the night. Elvis listens, not with intention, but with the passive ease of someone melting into rest. Every sound becomes part of a gentle lullaby, woven by the darkness. His eyes drift to a small table in the corner of the room where a lamp sits unlit. Beside it lies a stack of letters and notes gathered from years of connection with countless souls across the world. Even without touching them, he remembers the way they felt in his hands, the warmth behind each word, the gratitude, the tenderness, the shared humanity. These memories bring a quiet sense of comfort, reminding him of the gentle thread running through all of life's moments. He shifts in the chair, leaning his head slightly to one side, allowing his neck to rest more fully. His body feels heavy in the most peaceful way, as though each muscle has loosened, letting go of the day, the past, and the weight of many years. His breathing becomes even slower, deeper, and more rhythmic. Outside, the first hints of dawn are still far away. The world remains in a long, soothing exhale. Even the insects soften their songs, humming in muted harmony. Moonlight dances faintly along the glossy leaves of nearby trees, giving them an otherworldly shimmer. Elvis's thoughts flow back to the simplicity of childhood once more. He remembers warm mornings when sunlight streamed through cracked windows, dust floating in golden beams. He remembers the soft laughter of neighbors drifting across their yards, the clatter of dishes being washed behind screen doors, the sound of radios playing soft gospel across wide, still fields. Those memories wrap around him now, gentle as a quilt his mother once laid across his shoulders. His heartbeat slows into a deep, restful cadence. His eyelids grow heavier, the room blurring gently out around him. The world becomes softer, quieter, warmer. The moon lowers further, touching the edges of the horizon as though dipping into distant hills. The breeze grows lighter, then pauses altogether, leaving the curtains still. The absence of motion feels like the final sigh before sleep. Elvis shifts one last time, settling into a position of complete ease. His shoulders relax, his breathing deepens, and everything around him becomes softer than silence. Memories dissolve like mist, leaving only the warm glow of calm. The night holds him gently, like a memory held close, and as the final hours of darkness stretch across the land, the world drifts into a hushed, dreamlike quiet, carrying him deeper into stillness, deeper into warmth, deeper into peaceful rest, until the boundary between waking and dreaming melts away completely, leaving only calm, softness, and the endless serenity of night. The last stretch of night deepens into a velvety quiet, holding the world in a slow and gentle embrace. Upstairs, Elvis remains in the same peaceful stillness, his body resting naturally into the soft cradle of the chair. The moon has nearly slipped below the horizon now, leaving behind only a faint, silvery glow that lingers like the tail end of a dream. The air has cooled, settling softly over the room, touching his skin with a whisper, light chill that feels comforting rather than cold. Shadows lengthen and merge across the walls, their shapes blurring into one another until the room seems wrapped in one continuous shade of deep blue. The curtains hang motionless for a moment, suspended in perfect stillness. The silence inside the house becomes a soothing presence, gentle and warm, like a familiar voice humming from far away. Elvis's breathing grows even slower, each inhale drifting longer than the last. The weight of the night rests softly on his shoulders, calming the last remnants of thought until only a faint glow of feeling remains. His mind drifts to memories as soft as the hour, memories that rise without edges, without urgency, like distant lights blurred by fog. He remembers early mornings on tour buses when the world was still half asleep. The hum of engines, the quiet tapping of someone turning a page, the muffled footsteps of a friend moving past, all the little sounds that created a cocoon of peace before the day fully began. Those mornings had always held a kind of magic, the sense that music, travel, and companionship were gently leading him forward through each moment without haste. His thoughts shift to moments shared over simple meals at small roadside diners, warm biscuits, soft laughter, the comfort of being surrounded by people who understood him. He remembers the glow of neon signs outside, casting red and blue reflections on empty parking lots in the middle of the night. Those peaceful stops along endless highways become soft echoes now, settling easily into the quiet of the room. Outside, a faint chorus of crickets begins again, their rhythmic notes spreading across the yard like tiny heartbeats pulsing in the dark. The trees sway with almost imperceptible movement, their leaves brushing one another in soft, whispering patterns. Night birds have long since fallen silent, adding to the calm stretching over the land. Elvis's gaze drifts downward, half-lidded, seeing yet not seeing the dim glow of the room. The edges of his vision soften as though the world itself is easing him gently toward deeper rest. His hands rest loosely on his lap, fingers slightly curled, completely relaxed. The slow rise and fall of his chest matches the rhythm of the night outside, steady, unbroken, serene. The house seems to shift into an even deeper level of stillness, as though honoring the quiet settling over him. The floorboards hold their breath. The walls remain warm, embracing the echoes of laughter and music they have absorbed over the years. Even the ticking clock seems to soften, each second passing with a gentle whisper rather than a mark of time. His mind drifts back to Graceland's gardens. In the early morning light, dewdrops sparkling across the grass, soft petals opening with the dawn, the faint rustle of wings as birds woke one by one. He remembers standing in those gardens barefoot, feeling the coolness of the earth beneath him, the promise of a new day rising slowly over the horizon. That memory settles now like a soft blanket over his thoughts, comforting and familiar. The last remnants of moonlight fade from the sky, leaving only the deep indigo of pre-dawn stillness. Clouds drift lazily across the heavens, their shapes illuminated faintly from below by the sleeping world. Inside the room, the shadows grow deeper, thicker, warmer, gathering around Elvis like gentle arms cradling him in the quiet. His breathing becomes a whisper, so soft that it seems to blend with the air around him. His heartbeat settles into a slow, steady rhythm, matching the drifting calm that fills every corner of the house. His eyelids remain low, gently closed now, the weight of sleep moving over him as softly as falling snow. The world narrows into silence, no edges, no distinction between room and night, just one smooth, unbroken calm. Every memory softens into a warm haze, every sound dissolves, even the air feels still, as though holding its breath in reverent quiet. The night has reached its deepest point, its most peaceful hour. The darkness is no longer darkness at all, but a soft cradle, deep, endless, and tender. And within it, Elvis drifts further into rest, held gently by the quiet, enveloped by warmth, carried on a calm that seems to stretch without beginning or end. Nothing moves now but the slow tide of breath and the gentle hush of dreams blooming softly in the dark, blossoming like faint stars in an infinite, silent sky. The final edge of night stretches thin and delicate across the landscape, wrapping Graceland in a hush so complete it feels almost sacred. In the quiet room upstairs, Elvis remains suspended in a state between dreaming and waking, held by the soft cradle of the chair and the gentle darkness embracing him. The last traces of moonlight have vanished, leaving only the deep blue softness of pre-dawn stillness drifting through the open window like a slow breath. The faint glow of early morning lies far beyond the horizon, not yet visible, but sensed in the air, in the subtle shift of temperature, in the distant quiet that precedes birdsong, in the softened hum of the resting world. Everything seems to lean toward the coming light with patient anticipation, yet not rushing, not stirring, simply existing in the tender pause before dawn. Elvis's head rests slightly to one side, his features relaxed, softened by the gentle shadows. His eyelashes rest like delicate strokes against his skin, and his breath continues its slow, serene rhythm. The night has melted into him, leaving his body weightless, his mind drifting in calm currents. The chair beneath him cradles him with familiar warmth, its worn fabric molding perfectly to his resting form. Far across the yard, a soft breeze stirs again, moving through the magnolia trees with a faint rustle that sounds like distant whispers. The leaves tremble lightly as the wind glides through them, carrying the tender scent of earth, flowers, and the faraway hint of morning dew. The sound flows through the window and into the room, surrounding him in its soothing cadence. Inside, the house feels like a dream suspended in time. Shadows pool softly in corners, Wooden floors glow faintly in the indigo dimness. The air hangs still and gentle, warm with the last remnants of the night. The silence is whole, complete, comforting, a silence that soothes rather than empties, a silence filled with memory. Thoughts drift slowly through him, rising without form or urgency. He sees the edges of memories, softened and glowing, warm afternoons spent beneath trees, with guitars leaning in the grass, evenings filled with quiet laughter, shared with friends, slow dances in dim rooms lit by amber lamps, the echo of gentle harmonies, the comfort of voices blending into something larger than any one person. These memories drift like petals, floating on calm water, each one stirring a soft warmth within him. His body remains completely still, every muscle resting with the fullness of ease. His hands lie loosely at his sides, relaxed, open. His breathing grows even slower, so soft it blends with the stillness around him, as though the night itself breathes with him. The room, the house, the land seem to share in this rhythm, following the gentle rise and fall. Outside, the crickets hum in low, even patterns, quieter now, as though singing themselves to sleep with the last of the night. The trees sway in a slow, languid rhythm, their movements barely perceptible, yet endlessly soothing. The wind carries a deeper quiet now, one that signals the closing moments before dawn. Elvis's thoughts drift to soft mornings from years long past, mornings when he would step out into the golden light with a slow stretch, feeling the warmth of a new day settling across his shoulders. He remembers the narrow beams of sunlight touching the dust motes in the air, creating tiny floating sparks that filled the room like a private constellation. He remembers coffee percolating in the kitchen, the rich scent rising like a comforting promise. He remembers these small rituals, tender and grounding. In the room now, those memories feel as real as the air surrounding him. They fold gently around him, adding warmth to the cool pre-dawn stillness, cushioning him in a sense of belonging that stretches across time. The horizon beyond the trees shifts slightly, dark blue turning the faintest shade lighter, like the first brush of watercolor on empty canvas. The light is not yet visible, but its approach feels close, subtle, serene. The world holds itself perfectly still in this in-between moment, savoring the last quiet breath of night. Elvis remains in perfect stillness, drifting deeper into calm. His heart beats with a slow, steady gentleness. His chest rises with the softest motion. The room tilts toward silence, toward rest, toward a peace that seems endless. His thoughts have grown so light, so soft, they barely touch him anymore, dissolving before fully forming. The quiet deepens, becoming almost luminous in its softness. It gathers around him like a warm blanket, settling over his shoulders, pressing gently against his arms, flowing around him in tender currents. Every corner of the house has surrendered to stillness, every sound reduced to a soft hum, every shadow stretched into gentle shapes. The faintest tint of silver begins to outline the edges of the window frame as dawn slowly draws nearer. The world outside remains calm, resting in this suspended moment where nothing has begun and nothing has ended. It is a place of infinite peace, infinite softness, infinite quiet. And as the night's deepest tranquility wraps itself around him, Elvis drifts further into rest, floating in a timeless calm, unbroken, soothing, boundless, until the entire world seems to breathe with him, slow and gentle, moving together toward a place where all things soften, settle, and finally fall into a dream without edges. The last hush of night lingers over the land like a soft veil, and the room around Elvis glows with the faintest prelude to dawn. The deep indigo shadows begin to ease into cool gray, their edges softening with each passing moment. The air feels still and warm, touched only by the whisper of a breeze drifting through the open window. Everything remains quiet, suspended in the fragile space between darkness and morning. Elvis rests in the chair exactly as before, his body settled into complete ease, his breathing slow and steady. His head remains gently tilted, his expression serene. The soft dark around him seems to cradle him, holding him in a deep, natural calm that hums through every inch of the room. The night has wrapped its final embrace around him, and now the faintest suggestion of morning begins to settle at the edges. Outside, the trees sway with barely perceptible movement, their leaves murmuring in a hushed conversation with the wind. The air carries a cooler note now, soft and cleansing, as though the first breaths of dawn are whispering across the fields. The crickets hum more faintly, their nighttime chorus slowly fading into the quiet, like the last notes of a lullaby. Inside, Graceland remains steeped in its warm stillness. The furniture holds its silent vigil, resting like familiar old companions. The walls are covered in shadows that move almost imperceptibly as the world brightens by infinitesimal degrees. Everything feels gentle, unhurried, as though time itself has chosen to walk softly. Elvis drifts deeper into the tender calm surrounding him. His thoughts have softened into the faintest ripples, small, warm impressions that come and go without leaving weight behind. He senses echoes of moments long past, sunlight catching the grains of a wooden porch, the soft rhythm of a rocking chair creaking gently beneath him, the warmth of a hand resting lightly on his shoulder, the harmonic swell of a gospel choir rising in unison. These memories glow like distant lanterns in a fog, warm and steady. His breathing continues its slow rhythm, the quiet motion synchronizing with the gentle pulse of the world around him. His hands rest easily, the fingers curled loosely, the air touching his skin with calm tenderness. A soft flicker of dawn-tinted gray begins to gather along the horizon outside. Though the sun remains hidden, he remembers slow mornings spent walking across dew-covered grass, each step soft and cool beneath bare feet. The smell of earth, fresh and clean, drifts back to him now, blending seamlessly with the air in the room. He remembers the sound of gentle laughter carried on the breeze, the warmth of simple greetings, the comfort of being surrounded by familiar voices. Each memory floats across him like a feather drifting in the air, light, delicate, soothing. The curtains shift again, lifting slightly as the wind passes through. The movement is slow and graceful, brushing Elvis's arm with the faintest caress of cooler air. The room responds with a soft rustle, like fabric sighing. The shadows ripple, then settle once more into a deep and tranquil blue. Downstairs, the house remains perfectly silent. The clock ticks, but the sound has softened into something nearly imperceptible, folded into the quiet of the early hour. The polished floors and framed photographs reflect only darkness now, waiting patiently for the first hint of dawn to stir them awake. Elvis drifts further into peaceful stillness. His memories shift into softer shapes, images that no longer belong to a specific time or place. A glowing stage seen from afar, warm lights blurred by distance. The gentle hum of instruments, tuning, muted and comforting. The feel of a guitar resting against his chest, its familiar weight grounding him. A quiet voice humming beside him in the dark. A long, easy drive beneath a sky full of stars. These impressions melt into one another, forming a tapestry of gentle emotion rather than story. Outside, a single bird stirs, just once, testing the morning air with a faint, tentative call before falling silent again. The sound, though soft, warms the horizon with the promise of sunrise. The sky shifts slightly, the deep blue lifting toward a muted gray blue that signals the slow approach of day. The room seems to glow from within now, not with light, but with comfort, a warmth that fills every corner, every shadow. The breeze drifting through the window carries the faint scent of damp earth and leaves touched by dew. It wraps around Elvis like a soft blanket, settling gently over him. His breathing deepens, steady and calm. His heartbeat rests in a slow, even cadence. The world around him becomes even quieter, as though honoring the sacred stillness of this last moment before dawn's arrival. Everything feels suspended. Time, sound, thought, motion. The house is wrapped in perfect calm. The land lies in peaceful slumber. The sky hovers in its final breath of night. Elvis remains held in this endless quiet, resting in the deepest comfort of the lingering darkness, drifting into a space where thought dissolves and only warmth remains, until the faint light waiting just beyond the horizon prepares to rise and gently greet the world again. The first pale suggestion of dawn gathers at the horizon, a faint silver line stretching quietly beneath the dark canopy of night. Yet the world remains unlit, wrapped in that gentle, breathless moment before morning begins to bloom. Inside the room, Elvis rests in the deep stillness of pre-dawn, surrounded by the soft glow that comes not from light, but from the delicate warmth of memory drifting through the air. The breeze carries a cool, early morning hush through the window, brushing lightly against the curtains and making them sway with slow, graceful movements. The fabric drifts forward and back as though breathing, each motion soft enough to lull even the wind into calm. In that hush, the scent of the garden rises, dew settling on grass, the first unfurling of magnolia petals, the earthy sweetness of damp soil awakening beneath the dim sky. Elvis remains perfectly still, his body relaxed, his limbs heavy with the ease of deep rest. His breathing stays slow and steady, each inhale long and unhurried, each exhale soft as the settling dark. His thoughts drift toward tender fragments of life, moments suspended in the hazy glow of memory. A quiet studio filled with warm lamplight and low murmurs, the gentle weight of a guitar strap resting against his shoulder, the rich, soothing harmony of a choir rising in soft waves behind him. These moments drift together, no longer tied to years or places, but floating in timeless warmth. Outside, the sky shifts again, the deep indigo lifting slightly as a muted blue emerges almost imperceptibly beneath it. Trees sway faintly, their branches brushing one another with soft murmurs that blend seamlessly with the settling hum of the night. A distant owl calls once, low and slow, then retreats again into silence. Everything around him seems attuned to the same peaceful rhythm, as though the entire world is breathing with quiet patience. In the house below, the silence grows even thicker. Furniture rests without movement. Hallways hold their breath. The clock's ticking melts into the air, becoming a soft, steady pulse beneath the stillness. The walls, warmed by decades of living, seem to cradle the quiet, sheltering it tenderly so it can last just a little longer. Upstairs, Elvis drifts deeper, his mind slipping further into that soft borderland where memory blurs with dream. He senses a warm glow from long ago. Summer evenings on back porches, fireflies rising from tall grass like floating embers, soft guitar strums drifting through the twilight, the hum of cicadas thick in the southern air. Those tender nights unfold inside him now, slow and sweet, each one a gentle lantern illuminating the calm around him. The sky brightens by another quiet fraction, though still no sun appears. The world holds its stillness. The night lingers like a soft blanket pulled close around the earth, and Elvis remains suspended within it, drifting weightlessly through warmth and shadow. The horizon shifts once more, this time with a soft breath of lavender and muted gold that whispers its way across the sky. The edges of clouds begin to glow, as though lit from within, their shapes still faint, still delicate, waiting for the sun's gentle embrace. The deep quiet of the house remains undisturbed, yet the air has changed, subtly, tenderly, like a promise unfolding in the distance. In the chair by the window, Elvis rests deeper than before. His head leans naturally, his posture softened into complete surrender. His breathing flows with the slow, steady ease of someone drifting into the very heart of rest. The faint breeze stirs a loose strand of hair, brushing it gently across his forehead. The cool air settles around him like a calming whisper from the world outside. His thoughts drift into images shaped from the softest corners of memory, moments where time seemed to pause of its own accord, quiet walks through sunlit gardens, conversations carried out in hushed tones on warm afternoons, the peaceful murmur of friends gathered in familiar rooms, speaking with the slow comfort of people who know one another deeply. These memories surface not as stories, but as warm impressions, filling the air around him with a tender glow. Outside, the garden shimmers faintly as dawn approaches. Dew clings to each blade of grass, turning the ground into a field of tiny pearls that reflect the earliest hint of light. Leaves glisten, heavy with moisture. Flowers remain closed, their petals waiting for the day to unfold. The world stands at the edge of awakening, but holds still, savoring the last quiet breath of night. Inside the room, the shadows soften, melting into gentle shapes. The curtains rise and fall with slow rhythm, the fabric moving like the surface of a calm sea. The floor glows faintly with the gray-blue tint of approaching morning. Every surface seems hushed, reverent, softened by the tender hour. Elvis drifts even further inward now, his breath deepening, his body resting in perfect ease. His heartbeat follows the slow cadence of the world outside, a quiet drumbeat echoing through the stillness. His memories dissolve into warmth, his thoughts into silence, his awareness into the tranquil lull of the fading night. The sky brightens another shade, but dawn remains gentle, patient, unhurried, waiting with soft grace. And in that lingering moment, suspended between darkness and light, Elvis rests in the deepest quiet, surrounded by the tender glow of peace, held by the stillness of a world preparing to wake with calm, slow breaths. the sky continues its slow awakening, lifting from muted blue into a soft, pale gray that spreads gently across the horizon. The edge of dawn remains delicate, almost shy, as though hesitant to disturb the deep quiet still holding the land. Inside the room, the faint new light blends with the lingering shadows, creating a soft gradient of calm that settles over every surface. The floor gleams with a cool haze, the window frame glows faintly, and the curtains drift with the feather-light breath of early morning air. Elvis rests unmoving in the chair, wrapped in the last, sweetest moments of night's embrace. His breathing is steady and even, each inhale a slow gathering of peace, each exhale a gentle release into stillness. His posture has softened into complete repose, every muscle relaxed, every line of his body calm. In the soft dimness, he seems almost part of the quiet itself, a figure woven seamlessly into the hush of the room. Outside, the first birds stir again, brief, tentative murmurs, carried on the cool air like tiny threads of song testing the morning. Their calls are few and far between, spaced out like distant chimes, ringing across a vast and peaceful valley. The breeze moves through the garden with a tender rhythm, brushing against leaves heavy with dew, setting them trembling ever so softly. The scent of wet earth rises, gentle and rich, filling the air with the promise of a new day that has not yet fully arrived. Elvis's thoughts drift inward, further and further from waking consciousness. He slips into a drifting warmth that feels weightless and infinite, a space where memory becomes sensation, and sensation dissolves into the quiet hum of being. Images come to him, not as stories, but as gentle waves, the soft glow of stage lights seen from behind closed eyes, the warmth of a familiar hand resting against his, the echo of harmonies floating through still air, the comforting murmur of friends speaking softly through long, peaceful nights. These impressions flow without direction, circling him like feathers on a slow breeze. The dim light grows steadier, settling into the room without urgency. It touches the walls in smooth strokes, painting them with a pale, restful glow. The shadows stretch, then soften, then stretch again as the sky shifts in delicate breaths. Nothing moves abruptly. Everything unfolds with the softness of silk sliding through quiet fingers. The house below remains still. No footsteps echo, no door creaks, no sound rises from the sleeping rooms. The quiet is whole, layered with years of memories that rest within the walls, forming a silent presence that feels warm and protective. This hush settles around Elvis like an embrace, holding him in the final moments before dawn lifts the world into waking. His chest rises and falls in a steady rhythm, the calm of sleep deepening with each passing moment. His thoughts dissolve completely now, drifting into a serene, boundless silence. Even the memories that floated gently around him fade into light, leaving only warmth behind. His breath becomes the pulse of the room, the slow heartbeat of the early morning silence. The sky outside shifts once more, the faintest blush of rose gathering beneath the gray, tender, and delicate. Like a quiet whisper of the day to come, the world remains suspended in this gentle in-between. Night not yet gone, morning not yet here, everything resting in the softest possible moment of stillness. And Elvis, held in the quiet that surrounds him, drifts deeper into rest, into a place where time loosens its hold, where the world softens into warmth, where the last shadows of night cradle him gently as the first fragile light of morning waits just beyond the horizon, patient and kind.